So I recently rewatched Gamera Vs Viras, guys, and I must say I was pretty surprised. It did contain that cringe Gamera song that I don't want to visit, but we're going to ignore that because it only happened in 2 scenes. So yeah, this song was pretty good. Out of all the goofy films with kids, it's the main characters like Gamera Vs Virus, Gamera Vs Sigra, Gamera Vs Jiga. This was the best one. And since I recently rewatched it, spoiler review, I'm going to explain the entire story and plot first. So, it starts off with some kids, of course, and then they go on a bike ride, and there was this really funny character called Komoda. He's got to be my favourite character in the film. He was really hilarious, and I'm never going to forget about him. He had some funny jokes. But anyways, they're on a bike, and then they saw a huge spaceship, and then the girl didn't want to go in, but the boys did. And I must admit, those 2 kids were probably my favourite kids out of all of the kids from the Showa era. Anyways, they took off to space. They then saw Gamera on the way, and then they decided to have a race. They ended up on this planet and saw Guiron. And yeah, I got to tell you, Guiron's my 3rd favourite villain. Like, after Barugon and Gauss, Guiron is my 3rd favourite villain from the Showa era. Like, Guiron's just got to be unique. Like, when he had a fight with Gauss, because Gauss appears in every movie, Gauss atomic beams him, but Guiron uses his huge horn to dodge the attack, showing that Guiron must be a good threat to Gamera. And yes, he was. He indeed was, actually. And yeah. So yeah, and it starts off like that, and then there are 2 aliens that I honestly weren't a big fan of. They're on the thumbnail just right there, and yes. So the humans or the kids, the boys just end up running into the aliens, and the aliens manipulate them. Yes, the aliens were the human villains of the film, and I might be wrong, but they're one of the first human villains I've seen from the Showa era. I might be wrong, I just don't remember any others. Anyway, this film was good. It was enjoyable. I respect it because I thought this could have been a big risk to watch. But no, it wasn't. I'm glad I watched it. It was fun. And yeah, definitely the best one. And yeah, here's another thumbnail. Like, it's like some sort of cartoon version of Gamera vs. Giron. Oh, and did I forget to tell you, those 2 alien villains, one of the aliens killed the other, which is what I call a betrayal, because, that's not very fair. Speaking of the fact they were working together to defeat the boys, there was even a scene where the kid called Akio, I think, his hair got removed. They were giving him a haircut, and then they tried to, kill him. So, yeah. However, he got saved at the last second, and apparently it is true that Gamera died in this film. He just came back to life somehow. I might be wrong, but I feel like I remember something like that. So, yeah. Anyways, I will admit, it had a very, very, very creative villain that I'm definitely not going to forget about. It had such a memorable villain, and I would appreciate the villain of Gamera vs. Giron. And the final fight was really incredible. We even get a scene of Gamera doing gymnastics. But yeah, they have so many Gauss appearances in this one. Like, a Gauss dies to Giron because Giron's a lot stronger. And then you can see even more Gausses flying. I feel like the Gamera franchise's favourite villain was Gauss because they are using them a lot. Gauss is basically like King Ghidorah from Godzilla at this rate. But anyway, let's ignore the fact that Gauss was in the film. Like, I'm glad he appeared in the film. He made it quite interesting. But we're going to focus on what it was actually about. All of the film took place in space. Yes, space. And the kids were starting to want to go home at some point. Something they really wanted was food. Because, of course, in space you don't have food. So they gave them some donuts. They fainted. Tried to kill them. They got saved. And then the rest of the film is basically just Gamera fighting Giron and the aliens trying to stop the kids from running away since the kids tried to make an escape. The kids got caught the first time they tried to do it, but the second time they did succeed. And I'm going to be very honest, I surprisingly wasn't really a fan of the aliens in this film. I'm kind of glad both of them died, because I just wanted to see Guiron. Why can't the villain just be Guiron? Well, actually, no, I'm actually kind of glad they added aliens as the villain as well. It made the story more unique and fun to watch. And yes. Anyways, like, if you watch this fight scene, it's really goofy. It's probably one of the goofiest fights they've ever made. And yeah, I must say, it was really fun to watch. I like having a laugh, so yeah, it felt like a nice surprise to just see Gamera doing gymnastics. Like, that was one huge lol moment. Like, Gamera, why are you doing gymnastics, man? Like, I mean, I guess that would make him stronger and faster while fighting Guiron. I don't know, really. But yeah, oh my god, I was laughing hard when I saw Gamera doing gymnastics. Like, I did not expect that at all. Anyways, I will admit, this is my second favourite final fight after probably Gamera vs Gauss. That final fight was really intense. But yeah, back to Gamera vs Guiron. I'm going to give it its scores now. The movie overall's got to be an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy the movie. It was really fun to sit through. And it was a lot better than I thought. Out of Gamera vs Virus, Gamera vs Cigarette, Gamera vs Shiger, and Gamera vs Guiron, this has got to be the best one. Like, and it's not even close either. So yeah. So this film kind of links to Gamera vs Gauss in some ways. The fact that they brought back Gauss in this film, like, only for a couple of scenes, but comment down below if you liked the re-encounter of Gauss. But yes, this film does link to Gauss in a couple of ways, I suppose, because you get Gauss in the movie, and I thought since Gauss and Guiron were both space monsters, they would like help each other, but no, I suppose they tried to fight it out. But yeah, Gauss ended up losing one of his legs, which was intense. And another thing I got to mention, why didn't Gauss just bring his legs back? In the Gamera vs Gauss movie, Gauss just brought back his toes. So yeah, maybe it was a different type of Gauss then, but is it me? Or Gauss, Guiron, and Gamera all begin with a G? So every monster in this one begins with a G. You know what, fair enough, that's fine. Anyways, Gamera's got to be one of the best monster franchises out there, but also one of the goofiest. Guiron was probably one of the weirdest looking villains I've ever seen, but his little horn was really unique. I like the design of Guiron's horn. It looks super cool. And yeah. And as soon as I watched Gamera, I was jealous. I was like, if only I had those puppets at home. But yeah, as I was saying, this one links to Gamera vs Gauss, and you need to go watch Gamera vs Gauss because its final fight was a masterpiece. It's probably one of the only final fights out there that overtakes Gamera vs Barugon, which I talked about in my first ever Gamera review. And like, it's probably the most action final fight. Gamera getting tossed about everywhere, and Gamera dragging Gauss into a volcano. So yeah, Gamera vs Gauss is my second favourite Showa Gamera film, without a doubt. Not as good as Gamera vs Barugon. Gamera vs Barugon's main characters are so unforgettable. I still remember those characters today. They're so fun. But yeah, Gamera vs Gauss also had a few memorable characters. Like, I didn't mind the killing Gamera vs Gauss. He was still annoying, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, while I think of something I could also say about this film, I want you to write your comments down below. But I'm going to give the ratings of Gamera vs Guiron now. The plot? I'd say the plot was pretty good because I actually fell for the aliens being good at first. So 7 out of 10 plot. And story? I gotta give the story like an 8 out of 10. And the characters are 9 out of 10, to be honest. Like, especially if you're basing it off kaijus, they are great characters, this film. And the fight's got to be a 10. Well, nothing's that perfect, actually. Only my ultimate favourite stuff are. So I might decrease that to 9.5. But anyways, yes. Either way, this film was still great. And yes, like, I remember that one time I was just walking to go see the movie. And I was really nervous. Like, I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Because, of course, it happened around the time Gamera Vs Viras, Gamera Vs Viras, Gamera Vs Jigo were released. So they were all goofy and possibly not so great films. So I was having hopes for this one to be good. But then as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. Of how it was one of the rare Gamera films that were actually goofy in a good way. I did not like Gamera Vs Viras. For me, that film was bad. And I did not like Gamera Vs Viras. And Gamera Vs Jigo's alright. While you're here, don't forget to like today's video. But yes, I would say, to be honest, that's my full review of Gamera vs Guiron. So yeah, like I said, comment your thoughts down below. And yes, I got to admit, this was one impressive film. It was one of the ones I thought would downfall really bad. But yeah, even though I was quite tired of seeing everything take place in space, Komoda made up for it because we had some scenes that took place on Earth. But yeah, this film had some epic fights, and I just got to appreciate Guiron, man. Like, I love how he had some sort of enclosure and he manages to get out. He was probably one of the most aggressive villains we had. And he was clearly a threat because he destroyed Gauss in a fight, and Gauss was one of Gamera's enemies. If Guiron was in more films, this would probably be Gamera's brand new enemy because Guiron can defeat Gauss, which is something I didn't expect. I didn't know Gauss was going to lose a leg while fighting Guiron, and it happened right at the start as well. Like 1 second into the fight, Gauss beams him, and Guiron just is a savage and uses his horn to protect him, which leads the atomic beam into cutting off Gauss's leg. And honestly, that was fire to watch. And in the end, Guiron then started chopping off Gauss. He was going to eat it but couldn't because of the smell of Gauss, which was pretty funny. Yeah, I'll give it plus points for that. But anyways, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't want to miss out Godzilla, Gamera, or Roblox, or more content. Because I love making my videos, and it will be even more fun if you decide to watch them with me. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.